Joseph Benno and Daniels Borovovs both got entry times 1:02:34. Breaststroke for men, heat number 2. Good spread of different nationalities. Joseph Benno and Daniels Borovovs of Latvia have exactly the same entry time, but looking to the far side of the pool where the early action is coming from. Luukkonen and Laufer in 0 and 1. And also in lane number 3 is Obrashak of Croatia. Who's going to get to the wall first? It is lane 3. Obravac, then Strelets and Luukkonen. Half second between 1, 2 and 3. Red Cap's a very, very choppy little stroke, that. More kind of 50 stroke than 100 stroke, but it's getting the job done pretty well for Obravac. Actually, he's quite a good 50 swimmer because it's a very, very low, choppy stroke, but he's now going to get overhauled by Joseph Benno in 4, and potentially also in lane 7, Ivan Strelets is finishing very, very quickly, and it is just 14 100s between Benno and Strelets, and 17 100s separate the top 3 in that. 1:02.12 for our winner. Strelets in second, and Laufer, who I mentioned early in the race, going through very, very quickly in the last stages for 1:02.29. So I think everybody is improving on their best times this year. Benno 1:02.34 entered in on, and well, he's given himself a chance, but you're going to be knocking on the 61 probably to make the semi-finals. If you're not in the 61s, it's going to be hard. Halfway through, after we finish this one, in the heats of the breaststroke for men and the 100. Karpenko and Elikvi both gone some 62 this year, as is Anton McKee of Israel. That would be a record, championship record, both held by Adam Peaty. 7:13, that incredible time. So in Rio, I'd say probably 56 is what he's aiming at. To go sub 57 here. A bit of history in the making, potentially in the semi-final tonight, or maybe tomorrow night, but let's see what kind of form he's in as the heats unfold. There's 50 completed with Anton McKee of Israel leading. Second is Kopchielov of Ukraine. Third, Bjerg of Denmark. Quite spread on this field, but now they're starting to come back and joining each other up. Far side of the pool, Bjerg is having a very, very good finish, but is he going to have enough in him to overhaul McKee? I don't think so. Finishing fast down this side of the field is Kopchielov. McKee gets there. We are getting closer to that 60-second barrier. 1:00.90. May well be good enough to get him through. I think anything sub 61 will probably be good enough to make the semi-finals, but let's see how quick the other heats are. Yeah, with a 1:19 and Kopchielov 1:01.26. So yeah, sub 61 I think stands a good chance. Anything low 61s, possibly. In the field, the 200 breaststroke champion from the Commonwealth Games, James Wilby in 3. That's Ross Murdoch, who won the 200 breaststroke at the Commonwealth Games in this pool 4 years ago. That's James Wilby of Great Britain, going in lane number 3. Real surprise winner of the 200 breaststroke and the Gold Coast back in the winter. Andrius Silauskas of Lithuania is at the moment the fastest in the field, certainly in terms of getting a lane 4 seeding here, but well, there's plenty of swimmers in this race, who could potentially win it. Eric Persson of Sweden's in there as well. All about making sure you pace your race correctly. Could be a very tight scrap between those centre lanes. Ross Murdoch pretty bent over his 200 and his 100, but he is good at pacing his 100 and will be there or thereabouts. Elseman of the Netherlands leads at the 50. Don't expect him to win it though. Ross Murdoch in second. Third is Rothbauer of Austria. Fourth, James Wilby. And this is where the race really comes to the fore. Big cheer for Ross Murdoch from the home fans. They're getting behind their home favourite. And he is starting to come through, encouraged by the crowd. James Wilby, the other Briton in the field, they're going stroke for stroke. Wilby is finishing like an absolute train. Wilby or Murdoch, who's going to get it? It is Wilby by 2/100ths of a second. What a race that was. 59.12 for our winner, 59.14 for Ross Murdoch. What a swim from James Wilby, and Ross will be upset to a certain extent that he got edged out by a fellow Brit. And that is a terrific finish. And both safely, provided of course they get the thumbs up from the judges, through to the semi-finals. What a race that was. James Wilby finishing like an absolute train. It's a two-hand finish, of course, on breaststroke. You have to have both hands going into the wall. And that was just by a fingernail. James Wilby from Murdoch. Sadlauskas not going sub-60, but everybody down to 5. Eric Persson will stand a good chance of making the top 16. Kirill Prigida, Anton Chubkov, who is the favourite to win the 200 here. Not as quick on the 100 though. Two Russians side by side. Prigida in 4 and Chubkov in 5. Yudris Titanis in 6 for Lithuania. And Shimanovic for Belarus. Quick boys in this field. All looking for, well, 59s. If they possibly can. 59s will do the job in terms of making the final. But they're all racers. Breaststroke boys are racers. They don't like holding back. Shimanovic, Dennis, Ketz of Belgium in 3rd. That could easily and probably will change over the next 50 metres because there's 6, 7, 8 in a line. Should be the centre lanes that predominate here. Prigida coming through, but it's that Lithuania. It's quite prominent to me from Titanis in 6, but it now will be the Russian taking over in 5, and he'll get it. Chubkov, 59.15 for our winner. Second place to Prigida, also Russia, 59.77, and Shimanovic of Belarus in 3rd place. Top 3 all sub 1 minute. Titanis with a 60.08. Zalaski with a 60.60 should all be in the top 16 come the reckoning in one race time. And 59.15, so again, another tight finish, but Chubkov getting the better of his Russian teammate. Well, there'll be a bit of noise now. A lot of anticipation, a lot of expectation, because a certain Adam Peaty is in the pool. Lane number 4. And as we say, he doesn't hold back. Looks as focused and as determined as ever for something really big. Well, we've seen him break world records in the heats before. I don't expect him to do it here. It's his world record, but just expect him to be, well, much quicker than everybody else. Helios Kazoli will know that. Arno Kamiga on the other side of him will also know that. A lot comes down to the start. Madam Peaty won't be the best of the starters, strangely enough. Best starter was Fabio Scazzoli of Italy in 3, and Peaty who sometimes off the block is not quite as quick, will now get into his stroke, and this is where the PT race really starts to work. When he's at his very, very best, PT will be leading at 50 and then just pull away from the rest of the field. PT at 50, 27.34. Well, quite a way outside that European record, so we know he's not on really cracking form, but he can hold that for later once he gets the cobwebs out of the way. And they are a bit closer to him than they normally are in 100. He's going to win it, but is he going to win it by a huge margin? Well, he's starting to get going now. Scazzoni must feel like he's going backwards. Caminger, likewise, because PT has this. He has the measure of the rest of this field. It will be the quickest of the morning. It's not going to be 57. It is, you know, 57.87. 57.89. 57.89. And you know what? For that first 50, it didn't look like Adam Peaty at all. It looked like any other swimmer. It didn't after the turn. That last 50 was all about Adam Peaty, and he wins that by 1 3/4 seconds, and that is a new championship record for Adam Peaty. 57.89, a new championship record for Adam Peaty. Only swimmer to go sub 58, and you know what? Project 56 might be on here for the semi-finals tonight, possibly the final tomorrow night. A first championship record for Glasgow 2018, and it comes from the homeboy, Adam Peaty. As it turns out, looking at the qualifiers, you had to be upper 60s to make it. 61 didn't quite make it in the end. Belligerent, if you like, from Peaty.